Hi, I'm Holly from the Word Association. We run free writing courses for underrepresented and marginalised groups that result in published anthologies of work and book launches, where participants can perform their own work. In this video, I'll be talking about performance. I'll guide you through some different exercises and techniques and approaches for you to try on one of your poems, with the idea being that you pause the video at that point and experiment with the concept in your own time before resuming the video. This means you can work completely at your own pace. For anyone interested in working with us or joining one of our courses, these videos will give you a flavour of what we do. We also hope they'll be useful resources for our current participants. We are very grateful to the Arts Council England for their generosity and support in funding this project. So whether you're new to writing and would like to take it further by sharing your work, or you're already performing but would like to hone your craft, then breaking down each poem can really help when it comes to performing. In this video, we're going to break down the performance process and try a few new things. So you'll need a finished poem that you're happy with and the time to play with it. After each instruction, pause the video and try what I suggest until you're ready to move on to the next step. This session is all about trying different things and finding out what works best for you, what feels right, what brings the poem to life and gets some meaning through, and what techniques will get you heard and get you listened to. You might like to record yourself trying different approaches and see what works best when you listen back. So firstly, you're going to connect with your body. Stand or sit tall and breathe deeply. Push your feet into the floor if you can. Feel the connection with the ground. Your body has held every experience you've been through. Breathe into it and let it express this. Keep yourself relaxed and harness all that creative energy. Let yourself move against the tide of the words if it feels right. Let your hands move if that feels right too. Now I want you to think of your breath as life force. It's vital and powerful. As you breathe in, you feed life into your words. Breathe deeply before speaking your words. Use your breath around line breaks and punctuations. You might find you need to alter the punctuation to allow yourself to perform it. Now think of the theme of the poem. Underline any words in your poem that really hit the core of that theme. Read the poem aloud and play with emphasising these words. Do you add more stress to them? Do you say them slightly louder? Do you slow them down? If you pause before or after key lines, will that give them more weight? Now let's think about pace and rhythm. What's the rhythm of the theme of the poem? Are you writing about something frantic and fast or something slow? Should it be measured? Should it be rhythmical? Should there be a clear and defined beat that you reflect using the stress of your words? For instance, could you capture the gait of someone walking or a heartbeat or machinery, etc.? Should the pace vary throughout the poem? Now try some different approaches for yourself. Next, I want you to play with the dynamics of your piece. Should certain passages or words be softer? Can you draw the audience in that way? Should other lines be shouted? Should they be louder? Read your poem again. Incorporate all of these elements. Has your performance captured the spirit of the poem? Would you feel more liberated and more able to connect to the audience if you memorised your piece? Do you need your notebook there for confidence and reassurance? People use both approaches. You have to find what's right for you. If you struggle with your memory, it might be too difficult to try and perform without a prompt. So give yourself permission to keep your book with you for the benefit of your performance. When you're devising a set, give each poem a colour or an emotion and build your set around varying colours and creating climax. If you've chosen colours, then place warm colours, warm poems next to cool ones. Start with something you feel strong and confident about that will grab the audience. Keep your pace and colours varied and interesting. Keep the themes varied. Take some time to explore YouTube and watch other poets perform their work. Try to distance yourself from the actual poems and just focus on the performances. Take a note of any performance that really stands out for you. What is it about that performance that you particularly like? How does the artist engage with the audience? How do they portray their sincerity? How do they use their voice to add drama and emphasis to the poem? How do they use their body and their breath in the performance? Make detailed notes on these points for several different artists that you admire. Don't mimic their style, but use what you've gleaned from these observations to breathe new life and fire into your own work. It's worth watching a full set from various performers and really taking note of introduction to the patter between poetry. How do they open their set? Do they launch straight into a poem, or do they introduce themselves and their work first? Does one poem flow into another, or do they introduce each piece individually? Really observe these aspects of their performance and note what works and what doesn't. What sort of approach will you use? Now I want you to record yourself performing your poem in a way that incorporates all of the new approaches that you've tried. Remember that performances will evolve over time and vary depending on the venue type, the venue size, your audience, the time of day. So see your performance as something fluid that you will constantly be evaluating and refreshing. Make sure you record your rehearsals and look back on live footage too. If you feel like your performance needs work at any time, allow yourself the time and patience to build your confidence and practice as much as you can. Try this video with different poems and see how different poems need different treatment to make the most impact. Performance is a wonderful way to bring your words to life, so make sure you commit plenty of time to giving the best performances or readings that you possibly can. If you fancy doing another online session, we also have videos on approaching the blank page, an introduction to therapeutic writing, editing, and building your writing practice. You can also keep up to date with our free courses, upcoming anthologies, and opportunities on our website and social media channels.